First for Cameron, please. Lucy and Seth have wireless microphones. Please wait to be called on and identify yourself before asking a question. Coach?
Obviously not the result we wanted. I think Mason Moore is about 3 or 4 batters away from having a totally different result. Our inability to keep the ball in the yard obviously cost us. I thought Cam threw the ball great. Ben Cleaver gave our offense a chance to come back, but some lack of execution on the offensive end and, some base running things, and all of a sudden you don't get the results you wanted. So tip your cap to South Carolina. Got a great team. They played well, and they deserve the victory.
All right, questions for Cameron. Start in the front right.
Daniel Hager, Kentucky Sports Radio. Cam, you and Ben and Mason, I think 8 walks, 2 hit by pitch today. Is that kind of be something you guys focus on over the next week before tournament play starts?
Yeah, definitely. We're looking to go out and execute quality pitches, and we let a few too many get away from us today, and we got to hone in on that before the postseason.
All right, on the second row on the left.
Joe Healy, D1 Baseball. I have to imagine, just given the way you guys have played this year, that the vibe of the team is still pretty good, understanding that you still have bigger fish to fry down the road, even if you're out relatively early here.
Yeah, definitely. We didn't show up and do what we wanted to do here, but we are very tight-knit and a family, so we're going to learn from this and move on and get ready to go for the regional.
One more from Joe.
Cleaver hasn't pitched much this year, but he's pitched in a lot of big games. What does it say about him as a freshman that he's able to go out there and do what he's doing as a first-year pitcher who hasn't thrown a lot?
Yeah, he's been working really hard. He kind of got banged up a little bit at the beginning of the year, but he's been learning from a lot of us old guys, asking me a lot of questions. So I like to help him out every day, and it's awesome to go see him out there and do what he's supposed to do.
More questions for Cameron? Okay. If not, Cameron, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the way. All right, if there are questions for Coach, please raise your hand. Start in the front right.
Hey, Coach, I'll take you to the 8th. Nicholson gets on second, and I think Nolan hit that line drive, got doubled up. Is that just a play where you just kind of throw your hands up in the air? You're like, can't really do much about that.
Well, actually, on a ball in the infield, you're supposed to vault back, and we didn't do that. So we didn't execute that base running play, and obviously it was a costly one. But, man, give Nolan a lot of credit. He squared it up, and he made a good play. You know what I mean? But in a perfect world, we would vault back there and just stay out of the double play. But obviously we didn't do that. But what a clutch hit by Nicholson, I will say that. I mean, gave us a chance, man, was right there. And I thought that was a huge hit in the ball game.
On the left, second row.
Second time this year that South Carolina's hit Mason pretty well. Is that some element of maybe just a tough matchup for him, or is that just baseball in your mind?
No, they've done a good job against them. The thing that Mason did today was he just walked and hit too many guys. Did they get, they got their hits? Yes, they got themselves in some really good counts. And I thought that hurt Mason. When Mason is at his best, he's ahead in a count. He was just behind in a count too much today. So give them credit. I mean, they did a good job with the strike zone. But, when you saw Devin go out there in the very first inning, right, what were you, a batter in? We were a batter or 2 pitches in and nope, come on now. Come on now, Mason, But he's pitched well for us all year. And but you're right. They were able to get to him twice.
Front row on the right.
So now you guys have a week before NCAA tournament play starts. You guys will likely be a top 8 seed, regional, super regional. Just what are a few things that you think are going good for you all heading into the NCAA tournament? A few things that you think you might need to work on throughout this next week?
Well, one thing I'm looking forward to for the guys is to be able to get some rest. This has been a super long season, and you've seen how many road games we've played. And, we've had one flight. No, we've had 2 flights. Every other one, I feel like, is a 6 to 8 hour bus trip, right? So I'm looking forward to them being able to spend some quality days in their own bed. That's always a good thing. We've got to be able to get to the spot where we continue to have our pitchers just focus on their quality pitches and we are on the attack. And our opponents feel that. And then offensively, we have to continue to do a good job with 2 strikes, and I think we could do better. I think this tournament we did not do as well as I would like. Matter of fact, I don't think we met the standard maybe one time with 2 strikes. So we've got to get in there and do a little better job with 2 strikes. We've got to tighten up some of our base running, our base stealing. and all the, our little trick plays and gadgets, and you know what I mean? We just got to tighten all that up, because when we're doing that, that's us at our best. Yeah.
Left side, back row.
John Whittle from thebigspur.com. Parker Marlott had some good success against you guys on the mound. What made him so effective, and how much detail in the scouting report did you have on that guy?
Yeah, we had quite a bit of information on him, but he threw great. I mean, he located his fastball, had some good execution there, and his breaking ball was really good. A lot of times when you see pitchers with that big of a breaking ball and that much depth, it's hard for them to land it for a strike, but give him credit, he did.
Joe on the left.
Similar to what I asked Cam, are you in a place now where you'd feel comfortable with Cleaver maybe being a guy you go to in a big spot in a regional at this point?
Yeah, Joe, coming out of our fall, we do a ton of player evaluations and things like that. I had him as our midweek starter. He was a guy that, in my hopes, he would be our midweek starter, and then much like we did with Travis a year ago when we got to the regional, that would be our potential fourth starter. And because he hasn't been able to do that, and we obviously, their safety is number one to us, so we've brought him along really slowly. But I can tell you that from the second we've got the clearance from our trainers for him to be able to throw, we've thrown him every time. So he was a guy, if you told me at the end of the fall, hey, look, by the time we get to this time, right now, Coach, he'd be in your rotation, I would say, yep, I believe it. That's how highly we thought of him. So in a lot of ways, we feel like we're adding another quality arm to our bullpen. And if we got to start him, I'll feel totally comfortable doing that. But he's a super talented freshman, yeah.
In the center, third row.
Kevin Skarbinski, the SEC blog. Nick, any parting thoughts on the end of this format in this event, moving to 16-team single elimination next year? Are you going to miss this format?
I will not. I will not miss it. And, I think, matter of fact, I will go on record and say this. The format that we're doing is the one that I voted for. So for what that matters, I don't know. But I will say this, and I've said this every year, our conference does an amazing job with this tournament. When you just look up and down, the staff, the people, I was personally really happy that there was no rain up to this point, and there was a 3 o'clock game, because all the people from the grounds crew to the office to you name it, they have spent a lot of time here, and a 9:30 game is early. So just so thankful for the job that our league and all the folks that have worked at this tournament have done. It is as good as it gets, and there is none better. But I will say this, that the format that we're moving to, change is not something that bothers me. I just think that we have to be able to make changes and adapt. And I think, there's a lot of times in life where we're just like, man, change can be really hard. But I told our players every first year of every first team meeting, I tell them, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change the way you think about it. So if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, just change the way you think about it. So I'm looking forward to, obviously, when there's no changing our format that we have now. So I'm looking forward to a new challenge and a new way to compete at the highest level against some of the best teams in America.
Any more for Coach? If not, thank you, Coach.
Yeah,
your
appreciate
time
you
this
guys.
week.
Thanks for being here. Go Cats. Appreciate everything. Yeah, thank you. Yes, sir.